All right, what's going on? In the last video, we looked at how to create a horizontal masonry grid where order is respected. So the first one in your list is this one, the second one is here, and you can see that this is sorted alphabetically. Now, an issue arises when we want to add Finsweet attributes like CMS filter to make this a searchable kind of collection of images. You can see if I start searching for Calyx, it does filter him, but he stays down here. And the problem is that this filtering needs to understand about our Macy.js instance because this is not a normal WEBFLOW collection or normal, I don't know, with air quotes around it. Anyways, luckily, the Finsweet attribute system does supply an event-driven API that we can listen to. So instead of my code over here, I'm going to go to the attributes documentation. And if you search for something like CMS filter API, then you'll want to grab the CMS filter code that is down here in the JavaScript API. So I'm just going to copy this, go ahead and copy, and we'll come back to our code here. And now rather than wait for the DOM content loaded, we're going to use this event here. Whenever the WEBFLOW instance is ready, then attributes is going to push itself to the window. And kind of what we have going on here is very similar to what's going on in our event listener for DOM content loaded, but we're just pushing the CMS filter, and then we're getting all of the filter instances in this function, and we can put all of our code inside of this function right here. If I were to just, let's see, I'll go ahead and comment this out and save and run this. Our existing code is not going to work, but now I can check out the console and we can see CMS filter successfully loaded is being logged right here. So I'm just going to cut this code that we have here, and where we have console log CMS filter successfully loaded, I'm just going to go ahead and paste it in there. And so I've saved and I refresh, and we can see our code is now executing again. And let's see, we've got in our console, we removed that console log, but we have a console log down here anytime render items event fires. So if I start searching Calyx, you'll notice it's still broken. That's okay. But if I bring up the log here, then we can see that it is logging our items array and all the stuff that Finsweet attributes uses to make the functionality happen. So let's go ahead and close this. Now, the other thing is we need to run some code in here to basically like have Macy recalculate and redo its thing. So here we have the documentation for Macy.js. If we scroll down, we can see some methods, and the ones that we want here are, we're interested in recalculate, and we're interested in remove and reinit. Now, I did try using recalculate here, hoping that would work. It's because it says it recalculates the entire layout. However, I didn't find that to actually work. We can actually try it. So we'll just copy and paste this, come back to our code, and we'll pop in Macy instance.recalculate and save. And now this is the code that gets executed every time we have filtered something. So if I start typing Calyx, it's still not working. So let's go ahead and try to be a little bit more aggressive here. And we'll call Macy instance.remove and then Macy instance.reinit. So we're basically just removing all the styling and event listeners that Macy has and then adding them all back on. And this will be reinit. And save. And if I refresh over here, now I can search Calyx and he shows up. I can search Quinley and she shows up. All right, so I realized something a little bit off with this solution that we have here to call remove and then reinit. If I start searching letters A and then M, I get what I want filtered, but as I click delete, I'm getting this kind of, this grid that it's not working, essentially. And the best solution I've found, which is unfortunate, I mean, it's really not a big deal, is to just take the constructor here and copy that. And rather than call remove and reinit, we're just going to, well, we can call remove if we want, and then we'll just call Macy instance equals the Macy again. So we'll just run Macy all over. And if I save now and then refresh here, so let's do the same thing, A, M, and now backspace, and we can see it's recalculating the layout how we want. So this is the ultimate solution that I found. Sorry for the quick mix-up, but I think this is going to get us there and shows us how we can look through documentation and figure out exactly what we need with both attributes and Macy.js to get the end result so that we can have beautiful websites. All right, cool. Thanks, and catch you in the next one. Bye.